I want to show you what I think Bernie Sanders' best moment of the night. Here we go.
Who are watching this debate are saying these are good people, they have great ideas. But how come nothing really changes? How come for the last 45 years wages have been stagnant for the middle class? How come we have the highest rate of childhood poverty? How come 45 million people still have student debt? How come 3 people own more wealth than the bottom half of America? And here is the answer. Nothing will change unless we have the guts to take on Wall Street, the insurance industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the military-industrial complex, and the fossil fuel industry. If we don't have the guts to take them on, we'll continue to have plans, we'll continue to have talk, and the rich will get richer, and everybody else will be struggling.
Tell him, Bernie. Tell him. So what I liked about that is, number one, this is what I'm talking about, where he needs to start calling out the frauds. He needs to start calling out the empty rhetoric. Because, listen, I like Elizabeth Warren better than Joe Biden, okay? I like Elizabeth Warren better than Kamala Harris. So let's just put that out there. What I liked about that was Bernie Sanders was kind of subtly knocking Elizabeth Warren in that statement. I don't know if you saw that. I think that Bernie Sanders was talking about, listen, you could have 2,000 plans. You could have plans for breakfast, lunch, noon, and dinner. But plans don't make a difference if you cannot structurally change this rigged political and economic system. Barack Obama said he had plans. He didn't even challenge this rigged political system. A lot of people have plans, but how are you going to get those plans executed? How are you going to change the system, which is essentially a legalized auction, our government? You could have great plans. I think Elizabeth Warren has a great plan to break up Amazon, Facebook, and big tech. You could have great plans like a wealth tax that Elizabeth Warren has proposed. By the way, that's a knockoff of Bernie Sanders. It was Bernie Sanders' original plan, a wealth tax that he's been proposing since the 1980s. But, of course, Bernie Sanders doesn't want to publicly attack Elizabeth Warren for basically stealing his plans. Putting that aside, Elizabeth Warren can have plans. The problem is she does not have the army of activists, organizers, and energy behind her. You need a movement to challenge a fundamentally corrupt system. And that is the difference between Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. Bernie Sanders also, objectively, is more progressive than Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren voted for a $715 billion defense budget. Bernie Sanders has voted against such things. Elizabeth Warren was nowhere to be found on issues like Standing Rock. Elizabeth Warren, before she was a candidate, didn't say much about climate change that I'm aware of. And of course, she sat out the 2016 campaign and didn't endorse Bernie Sanders. Some might say, well, she's more realistic, she's more pragmatic. What has pragmatism and realistic gotten us over the last 40 years? I'll tell you what it's gotten us. This is what pragmatism and realism and those kind of neoliberal catchphrases have gotten us. You want pragmatism? You want realism? Or do you want a fighter who's going to challenge this system that you are currently looking at? Because this system that you're currently looking at, yes, it started under Reagan, but it has been allowed to continue under presidents like Bill Clinton, under Barack Obama, and under Democratic governors, mayors, and congressmen and senators all over the country. Because it's one party. It's the establishment corporate party. And the Democrats and the Republicans are both corporate servants. Of course, the Republicans are way worse on major things. But on economics, the Democratic Party establishment and these people saying, oh, she's more realistic or she has more in-depth plans. No, she's not. She is more flexible to make deals with the establishment. If you want more deals with the establishment, Elizabeth Warren's your gal. But I don't think she's more pragmatic. You want pragmatism? Here's pragmatism. And I think Bernie Sanders said it well in 2016, and I would like him to start talking like this more now. No. If I am elected president, I'm not going to first go to Mitch McConnell and Compromise? Why am I going to compromise with Mitch McConnell when I have an army behind me? I'm going to say, hey, Mitch, look outside the window at the thousands of people in my army standing on the steps of Capitol Hill. Look at my massive, you think Bernie Sanders has a huge volunteer network now while he's running? Imagine if he got elected. He's got 1 million volunteers. That number will increase. And you will have people knocking on doors all around this country for Mitch McConnell's challenger, whoever runs against Mitch McConnell, and other Republicans trying to block President Sanders' legislation, and other corporate Democrats trying to block President Sanders' legislation. Elizabeth Warren does not have that. And her plans might be good, but from what I've seen from Elizabeth Warren, she's ready to make deals. And I don't think the problem is that Democrats and Republicans can't work together. I think the problem is they work together too often for regressive, neoliberal, toxic shit packaged as bipartisan legislation. We don't need it. Hey, even though I've been harsh on Bernie Sanders' performance, gotta keep it real. Here's the favorability ratings post-debate. Post the first and second debate. Bernie Sanders, by a hair, is the most favorable candidate. This is according to Nate, Mr. I'm an elitist, arrogant asshole, Nate Silver. Sorry, Jen, had to do it. Bernie Sanders, after the debate, has the highest favorability rating of any candidate. 76.3%. My time is up. Joe Biden, 75%. That is a huge indicator. Joe Biden's stock dropped significantly after that first debate because he was the most favorable candidate, I think, by 5 to 10 points, if memory serves me correct. You have Elizabeth Warren at 71%. She did a good job. No mistake. No, as my friend Mike Gravel says, no question about it. I would love to just get a loop of Mike Gravel saying no question about it. 71, Kamala Harris significantly went up. 66, Cory Booker, who is a big fraud, and I cannot. The fact that Cory Booker was sitting there trying to pretend he's a warrior against Big Pharma is laughable. And unfortunately, moderators might as well be mannequins because they don't challenge the candidates on their BS. And America's mayor, Pete Buttigieg, at 54%. So bottom line, for those saying that Bernie had a bad debate, well, apparently the people don't agree with you. 76% favorability, Joe Biden down. So this is, we'll see what the polls show after, in the next couple, it takes a little while to see the full picture after the first debate. And we're going to have another debate coming up in July, so there's not a huge break. July is tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see.
Hope you enjoyed that last video. Hop on over to statuscoup.com where you can sign up for our email list and become a member for as low as $5 to $10 a month. Membership is how we grow. That's statuscoup.com/join. And remember, join our email list so we can grow the revolution with you.